Oh, we got an update. We got an update. All right, guys. Welcome on back. Woo! All right, I understand that, but let's get this situated first. And anyways, let's roll that intro. All right, guys, welcome on back to the channel and welcome on back to TK's Garage. Now, today's video is a little different. I know you're waiting for me to tell you who the sponsor is. Shout out to my dude, Dizzle in Motion, in the clutch. He shot me to Oakley's, man, because the Cadillac is locked out, the battery's dead, and I'm having to have a key made. Ugh. Anyways, today's video, guys, is being brought to you by Henness Haight. I know you're gonna go, what? What? Well, let me explain why. So Henness Haight has been the attorney that I have used here in Las Vegas, and I know you're gonna say, TK, well, what about your sponsor? And the answer to that is simple. At the time of me having the issue here in Las Vegas, Morgan & Morgan was not operating here yet. That's how long it's been. I've been waiting for this issue to get settled. And what I'm talking about is getting rear-ended in the Petty Roosevelt and then T-boned in the Chevy Trax. So Henness Haight is handling both of those cases, and they might also take over my other case from when the semi-truck ran me off the road. We'll see how that goes. But right now, they're already handling two cases for me and have done great. Now, what does that mean? Well, they got me in contact with Advanced Spine and Rehabilitation and got me back to a place where I feel like I could go back to work, doing what I do for my defense contracting company. And they were really an entire pleasure to work with here in Las Vegas. Now, that said, I got to keep it a buck. I mean, Morgan & Morgan is the biggest sponsor that I have, but I'm just giving you my honest opinion about Henness Haight. So they, my attorney, which I don't know if they want me to name them directly, so I won't. My attorney has been great. My case manager has been great. And like we just found out when I was dropping these checks off from USAA, who are, endorsed for myself and them over the accident to, recoup some of my medical bills. They didn't even know I was doing YouTube. And I guess it might be on me. I don't know if it just never came up after the accident or not, or I just talked about, traveling overseas or being a defense contractor. Because the times that I've had to communicate with them is every time I've either been in Qatar or been in Dubai. You know what I'm saying? It's been a mess. But we're coming to the end of these cases. And if you remember, the rear end accident in the Petty Roosevelt happened in January of 2023. January. And then the accident in where I got T-boned in the Chevy Trax was July of 2023. So, I mean, both of these accidents have been going on for a while, but that said, I'm not a client who was like, oh my God, I'm hurting so bad, I need this money, blah, blah, blah. I wanted them to be able to take their time and do whatever they needed to do to handle these cases. So they're finally getting wrapped up. Medical stuff has been paid. Obviously the car, the damage, the reimbursement on that has been done. The diminished value claim is done. So basically at this point, it's just everything has been settled because it was State Farm on both accidents. Everything is done as far as numbers wise. We're just getting all the medical stuff paid, and then I'll get my check from that. So, one of the biggest things for me is you guys are always like, why do you always have personal injury attorneys as your sponsors? And it's pretty simple, guys. I mean, look, are you going to handle all of that paperwork and do all of that stuff yourself if you get into an accident? It's pain, man. The best way to take care of that situation is literally hire a competent attorney. It's why for my channel anyways, it's why I have the America's largest personal injury firm that sponsors the channel. That said, you know, when these accidents did happen, Morgan & Morgan wasn't here. So otherwise, you guys know what it is. That said, if you are in Las Vegas, you know, if it's a case that maybe Morgan & Morgan isn't handling, it's not a large case or whatever the situation may be, I'm gonna tell you, and shout out to Dizzle in Motion, because Mike, aka Mike Dizzle in Motion, is the reason why I have Henness Haight as an attorney for these two cases now. So major shout out to Dizzle in Motion for that. We'll be linking up later today, a couple more hours from now, so it should be fun. Hopefully my Cadillac will have a key by then. We'll see. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys an update on that. Some of you guys have been watching my channel for a long time are like, are you serious? It's been all this time? And yes, it's been all this time, and it's not my attorney's fault. It's USAA and State Farm's fault. Basically, the two worst insurance companies you could possibly have for an accident to get paid. Like, USAA drags their feet on anything when it comes to paying medical stuff, just speaking facts, and State Farm is the worst for everything. They're great for you as a client, by the way, in case you didn't know, because of all these accidents. State Farm is my current policy holder for my vehicles. I no longer have USAA. Well, that's not true. I do have USAA on one vehicle registered out of North Carolina still. That's it. All the rest of my vehicles are on a commercial policy now with State Farm. All right. So, but yeah, basically State Farm is like the worst. They will delay, not pay. It sucks, bro. It just sucks. But I have to give Henness Haight all the credit, because they literally went above and beyond to get this stuff done. Like, they dealt with no communication, delay tactics. They dealt with all of that and got all of this stuff done. So now at this point, it's basically making sure all my medical bills are paid, you know, using these checks that came in from USA to pay those medical bills, and that's pretty much it. So once that's done, they'll hit me up probably sometime in June, and I'll get a check for my accident, for, you know, the damage, my pain and suffering, whatever. And it's not a lot. Here's the thing. You know, I know some people like to go to like the chiropractor for 7 months. And I'm not that. If I'm myself, after I'm not sore anymore, and you take me, and I'm going back to work. I don't want anything for free. It's just not me. I like to work for what I got, and I'm not gonna. And that's the other reason why the State Farm, I think, worked with me, because I was like, look, I'm not taxing you. I could tax you. I could tax you for a ton of money, but I'm not doing that. Just pay out the claims, do what you're supposed to do, and I won't bust your ass, because I'm not. I didn't. I did everything by the book correctly. So, you know, as soon as my pain left, I stopped going. You know, chiropractor checked me out. They made me do a bunch of tests. They were like, yeah, you're good to go. You're ready to go back to work. And that's what I did. You know, I'm not playing the system or trying to get more money than I should. And that's the other thing I like. That was the other thing I liked about Henness Haight. They weren't a law firm that's like, hey, man, you got to go to the chiropractor for like X amount of time. We got to bill X amount of stuff. You know, they didn't do any of that. That's the other thing I liked about them. They were by the book. If you're looking for an honest attorney, and I know that's a huge thing to say, right? But if you are looking for an honest attorney and you are in Las Vegas, like I said, the two firms I could recommend are Henness Haight, and obviously the sponsors of my channel, Morgan & Morgan. So that said, I appreciate Henness Haight doing everything they could for me, working so hard to get my cases resolved. And now, you know, basically we're at a point where it's just getting everything wrapped up. So I'm happy with it. And hopefully this answers a lot of y'all's questions about what the hell was going on with the Petty Roosevelt and where we're at. you know, accident-wise, and have these been resolved. Major shout out to again to them. I appreciate them 100%. If I can find a link to the site, I'll link them in the description down below. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. There's your update back to our normally scheduled scumbag programming, and I will catch you guys very soon on the next one.